Redding woman's lawsuit against the city and police department is moving closer to trial. She alleges former officer Jacob Provencio took inappropriate actions during a DUI stop in 2020. The Northstate News' Max Tedford sat down with her for her first on-camera interview about the case.
Upon leaving, I saw Officer Provencio right in his car, just looking right at me. I didn't even have a chance. He lit me up at the light.
Rebeckkah McClelland says when she left the Hen House Bar in Redding on August 6th of 2020, she felt Officer Jacob Provencio had already locked on to her.
Everything was normal up into getting out of my car. When I got out of my vehicle, I was wearing tight capris, high heel shoes, a tight tank top. There was nowhere for anything to hide, and yet he felt the need to search me and rub me really hard in my private areas.
McClelland says Provencio determined she had failed the sobriety test, but within minutes of being placed in the squad car, he had her get out to search for her own keys.
Imagine like this is the door frame, this is the passenger side, and I'm literally with my hands behind my back. I'm sitting here like this, trying to look through my stuff.
Something her lawyer, Alexander Perez, has never heard of before.
How do you search a car when you're handcuffed behind your back? She's describing being up against the car entrance and having to scoot down and move things with the back of her hands. It's bizarre.
McClelland says after finding her keys, Provencio decided to search her for a second time, despite multiple requests at that point for a female officer.
Never once was there anybody else with us. I mean, there was times when I even asked for a female cop because I knew the way he was touching me was wrong. And I was in pitch black. It was just him and I.
In Provencio's patrol vehicle, she claimed she asked if there was anything she could do to get her car picked up, and Provencio reportedly responded with, "What will you do for me?" According to McClelland, Provencio followed up with texts and a voicemail in the days following the arrest. Redding police didn't get body cameras until 2023, and according to Chief Brian Barner, RPD vehicles have never had cameras recording dashcam or interior footage. However, McClelland's complaint prompted an internal investigation, which took over a year to complete. She received a letter from the department on May 16, 2022, which said 3 of her 4 complaints claiming improper procedure and violation of safety standards were sustained. No charges were ever filed against McClelland related to the DUI, inciting her to launch her suit.
It's affected my mental state. It's affected me emotionally. It's affected relationships because, if someone abuses their power like that, anybody can. Who do you trust?
McClelland says they have witnesses taking the stand, claiming similar instances with Provencio dating back up to a decade, and says she wouldn't be pursuing this if she didn't feel like she had to.
I finally am one person that stood up for themselves and spoke up and gave a lot of people a voice when they didn't have one.
We reached out to the city and police department, who said they cannot comment on ongoing litigation. McClelland and her attorneys say they don't believe it's an issue wider than a single officer, but due to state laws, the Redding Police Department is fiscally responsible for what its officers do on the job. McClelland is asking for $5 million. Her trial is set to begin in July.